Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale and Josh Prophet. Morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Hey, it's a chilly morning out here, isn't it?
Yeah, a little different than what it has been, but not as bad as what it was.
Exactly. So we're here at the South Central Kansas Mustang Club Car Show with 21st and Tyler. But it's really not 21st and Tyler. We're back in the back.
Central and Tyler.
Central and Tyler. Excuse me, I had it all messed up.
Cross Point Church is where we're at today.
So, and joining us right now is Ed Bennett. Ed, thanks for joining us here and having some excitement here this weekend. We got some cool cars coming in so far.
Glad to be here. Thank you guys for coming.
And, why wouldn't we sponsor the Mustang Club, right? Why that would be, right?
Yeah, that's good,
exactly.
Good
so,
deal, yeah.
If you want to see some cool hot rods, you need to come out here today. It's 9 to 3. And if you got something in your garage you want to get out here, it's a beautiful day to get them out. I should have brought my 500 out, Josh, but time factor is the problem with that.
It always seems like it is.
Something like that, too. So, anyway, so it's a call-in show, too, 316-462-3673. And, again, anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, it might be. But if you want to talk about this Mustang Car Club, and also we got the passageways that is kind of the supporting that you're supporting out here, right, Ed?
That's right. Yeah, this all proceeds today are going to benefit passageways. And if you're not familiar with passageways, they are an organization here in town that their primary deal is to help the homeless veterans, get them back into society, kind of get them housed and medical treatment and clothing and everything they need to, and find a job and just do everything they can do to get them off the street.
Well, and I'm going to kind of step out here just a little bit and say, it's kind of, I wish our government would step up more and take care of who took care of our country and stuff like that. A veteran that's homeless or whatever from that part, instead of having to do us as a community trying to dig in. But I'm glad you guys are doing it.
It's a great cause for sure.
From that part. But I just wish our government would spend some money on taking care of these guys and stuff like that. They fought for our country, did everything else like that. And it kind of near and dear to my heart for my dad. It was in the Korean War and stuff like that too. And then hearing his stories, what he went through and stuff like that too. So maybe I'm stepping over the step a little bit, but I just wish our government would give us some help those guys.
I totally agree. We pay our taxes and then these ladies and gentlemen fight for our freedom, and they get wounded in more ways than one.
Yeah, right? Just because it's not physical doesn't mean.
Yes, absolutely. And we need to do everything we can to help them.
Okay, so the car show 9 to 3 today. They can bring, and it's not, even though it's sponsored by the Mustang Car Club, you can bring anything you got, any hot rod you need or whatever. So what's the cost to get in? Is it a donation?
It's a donation. We are suggesting $20,
okay.
But if you can give more or can't give that much, that's great too. We'd love to have you out here and do whatever you can to help out.
So anyway, get your hot rod out, get them out of the garage. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Just a little chilly right now, but I think the sun's going to come out and be a little warmer, so we won't have to worry about that either too. So got a great song playing in the background too, right?
Yeah,
From that part. So
already got a good group of cars out here already as well. So and then the other side, there's a little bit to see for everybody at this point.
Yeah, it's looks like a new body style Corvette over there. Of course, we got our 24 Mustang convertible sitting here. If you haven't seen one of those yet, lots of Mustangs, of course. I like that black F100 over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sharp-looking truck.
It's got to be early 50s, I think. Maybe it's late 40s. I don't know. Early 50s,
I'd say early 50s.
Yeah, I was going to say early 50s.
From that part. Got a Nova sitting over there, so all kinds of stuff to see. But you need to get your hot rods out, come out and help support passageways and help our homeless. It's kind of crazy. Again, I still can't believe we have homeless veterans, but I guess we do. So, so anyway.
Yeah, also bring those two-wheelers, too. We want the motorcycles, too.
Oh, got the motorcycles, too. I haven't seen any of those yet. I missed that yellow car over there. The old roadster. I guess I call it a roadster over here, the bucket car, I guess you call it. I've always thought about having one of those.
Really?
I think it'd be cool. Wouldn't drive it very far, but it sure would be fun to have one.
It would be, wouldn't it?
You're not taking it to California by any means.
Probably not. I could on a trailer.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
I'm just not going to drive it that far. But I always thought those things were cool and stuff like that. From the movie Grease, when they had those ones on there and stuff too, it's kind of cool stuff too. So, hey, let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Yes, we can talk about anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. But also we can talk about this car show here, sponsored by the South Central Kansas Mustang Club here at the, I'm drawing a blank. What church?
Grace Point Church.
Okay.
And we're at Tyler Tyler and Central. So we're just a little bit back on Central to the west off of Tyler. So kind of behind the Taco Bell. Kind of behind the Taco Bell there.
Directly behind Midas. And, Yeah, on the
Got a big old parking lot back here, but couldn't ask for better weather compared to how it was last weekend. I was looking at the forecast ahead, and then you never really know how accurate that is. But
Yeah,
I guess you guys probably get into a lot of that with different car shows throughout the year.
it's a
stuff
gamble.
Like
We have our major show we always have in the summertime, and we've have always had it the first or second weekend of June, but this year we got stormed out. We changed it to July. We had such a good turnout, we decided to put it in July from now on.
Okay, so this is where do you do that car show, and what's that one sponsored by, and all that kind of stuff
that
too?
one at Sedgwick County Park, and you guys, of course, are a big sponsor.
Oh yeah,
and we appreciate it greatly. O'Reilly's always help us out, and we get a few other smaller sponsors.
So now, is that just a Mustang show there?
Mustang and Ford, any Ford body or Ford motor car.
And it's the Sedgwick County Park. Going to be in July next year.
Yeah, Sedgwick County Park.
So how often do you see a Chevrolet body with a Ford engine in it? And what's the most common? What's the most common configuration of that?
Just about anything.
Really?
Usually it's going to be something, like maybe a tea bucket or something like that, where they got more room to put them in there. But you'd be surprised. And I'll tell you what, this last show we had probably the best show we've ever had as far as Mustangs. We just had everything and beautiful, beautiful cars. Got a lot of 60s, GT 350s and 500s. We had them from. I know we had one guy come from Garden City with his, so we had them coming from all over. So really good show this year. And so we're gonna keep it in July from now on.
That's cool. Of course, there's more chances of not getting rained out in July, I think, because you just deal with the heat. Hey, look here, Josh, you probably want this one rolling in here right now, the old VW.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
The wing on the back and everything's ready to go fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's ready to go fast, Josh. So, anyway.
That wing, think of the downforce.
Where'd that thing take off and wheelie it, Josh? What do you think?
Got that motor and the spoiler in the back.
Yeah, so I say it take off like a wheelie is what that thing would do. I'm not sure why he's hiding out here in the back. He needs to get it right up front there. Everybody can see that thing.
Yeah, that is.
He's just circling around, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's trying to find a good spot.
There we go.
That sounds good too. There's a little bit more than.
There's more than there you think there is.
Yeah.
My dad made a dune buggy out of one of those back in the when was that? Would that have been the 70s? I think. Anyway, there was two versions of that Volkswagen motor. I remember that too. And we had the small one at first, and then I remember we went to the junkyard and got the big one. Got the big one. He had the big old pipes coming out the back, and we could hear him coming all over town with that thing.
Boss 302 there, 1970, it looks like.
Yeah, very good. Well, hey, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. That's the number to jump on the air here with us, and let's talk about anything automotive from that side of it.
Yeah, anything in the new car world, anything whatsoever, anything alien cars, something you don't understand, or you just want to talk about anything in the automobile world, or you got questions about the lovely car show we're out here today with, we'd love to hear from you. So let's get the phones ringing, right, Josh?
Yep.
And
so let's give kind of update on the strike and kind of where everybody's at with that.
Well, I hope I know the facts. The media out there today lets you know what they want you to hear and tell you what they want you to hear, and not the true facts and all that kind of stuff. But I'm pretty sure that most of Ford is going to go back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
So the strike was longer than I really expected it to be. I thought it'd be a short-lived kind of a deal, especially after we heard from Bill Ford when we were there in Vegas, what he thought would happen and stuff too. But you know what? I'm glad they're going back to work. We need to keep this economy moving. We got to keep things going. And it's like I was talking to a gentleman the other day. It's talking about the workers are in the plants, but it's all the suppliers that got shut down too. That supply the plants to put those parts in those cars and trucks from that part that also hurt.
Well, and then now you got to get them back up to production.
They got to get back up and going to get supplies back in. So I think that's also probably why they're not going back to work till Monday, why they took another week off to get the suppliers back turning and burning to get enough supplies in there so they can run the assembly lines like they need to, is what I think. I don't know. I'm not
sure.
Makes sense
from that part, but I'm just glad it's over. I just don't know what the end result's going to be or what the repercussions down the road of what it's going to do to cost of cars and all that kind of stuff too. From that part, who knows? I guess we're about to find out. That's what we're about to find out too. So we'll see. So I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad we're moving forward, and and excited to see. Every day I watch my orders in the order bank and see what's moving, what's not moving, and all that kind of stuff. And so it'll be fun to kind of start watching that again and see how fast they'll start turning them back up and stuff too.
What's the next new or refresh thing we would have would be the F-150, right?
So new F-150, and luckily those plants didn't get shut down during the strike, so that's good. But they were telling me at first that they were going to start building the 24 F-150 not until January. Well, now it's backed up into December, so that's a good positive note there of moving it back a month.
Yeah.
So excited for that too. It's a refresh truck. Looks really good. We kind of saw it from the distance there when we were at the new car show and stuff. The tailgate they didn't really demo it very good, but some guys have went out there and showed some better pictures of that new tailgate with the swing gate and all that kind of stuff. And at first I thought, I don't know about that. But now that I've seen some of the videos, it is pretty cool.
Yeah. And I don't, correct me if I was wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was an option. Like it was an addition or into, like, I don't think they were doing every truck that way. Or maybe I'm
That's
wrong.
correct. It is an option.
Yeah.
Lariat, what did Lariat on up?
I haven't got that all studied up enough to know. But what I didn't think about when they showed it at the show, they showed basically a trailer hooked onto it and had to swing it out where someone could get in there. But if there's no trailer hooked onto that thing, think about if you got the tailgate down, how you got or you can reach in there. So now if you've got the no trailer on, you can swing that tailgate open, how much further in the bed you can reach to unload and load things inside that bed.
To get stuff in and out of there.
From that part. But the other thing I don't know, because I can't tell by any of the videos I've seen, I don't think there's a tailgate step in that swing gate. I don't think there is. I think they've taken that away for the fact of being able to swing the tailgate open to get in there where you need to get. I don't know. I used to make fun of those tailgate steps, but I hate to tell you how much I use them.
Well, and I will say too that, through the years, the beds of the trucks have gotten taller and taller, and the side rails of the trucks have gotten
I have to leave the power boards. I leave the door open so I can get in back of the bed on the side from that part. Then the Super Dudes, they come by the steps finally.
Yeah.
I called my tailgate step my old man step.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know what I call it. Don't bust my getting in and out step.
Aren't they putting an indention in the bumper? On the new ones
for
too?
to a footwell in there
so
to be able to
have the step, putting that in there,
crawl up in there for sure.
Yeah.
So it'd definitely be interesting to see that new pickup.
So if they start building them in December, I'm going to say it's going to be late January before we kind of see them on the ground, that kind of thing too. The other thing they did on the high end trucks, they took the Limited away, and they went to a 3-stage Platinum is what they did. So basically of course, I got to go off numbers and everything else too from that part, but you can get a 701, a 702, and now a 703 Platinum. It used to be 701, 700, and 701s. And now the 703 is basically how I look at it, replace the Limited. Why they got rid of the Limited name, I don't know. I kind of, but it looks like the seats and all that stuff are a better seat and everything else in that 703. And on a 703, just like the Limited, there's no options. Pick a color and that's it.
Oh, really?
Pretty much. I mean, you can put brand bed liner, but that's about. I think you can take a sunroof in and out of it and stuff like that too, but that's really all you can really change in that truck. It's just a fully loaded up truck from that part. So it'll be fun and excited to see that new truck. It's time for a little bit of a refresh from that part. So,
what surprised me too, when they launched these Mustangs, like the one we got here in front of us, we had quite a few of them roll through there already.
They're selling very well. They are selling very well so far. Now I'm going to tell you this convertible. I drove a lot of these convertibles and stuff too, and even not this generation, but before even with the top down, you still hit a little bump. You get a little chatter or whatever. Not in that car.
Just quiet.
It's quiet. It's smooth, and every bump I hit, it was solid. So they've done some really good work on making that car much more solid and stable inside there with that top down.
I've not had a lot of chance to play with it, but the dash is, I think, been a huge controversy on that car for just Mustang owners and stuff like that. So I don't know, from the club side of things, what are you hearing?
Most of what I'm hearing is the younger ones like it, of course.
Sure.
Everybody else says it looks like an iPad stuck on the dash.
And I'm going to tell you, I don't care what you build, which way you go, whatever. You're still going to have that group that's going to complain. You're going to have that group that's going to be okay with. You're going to have that group that's going to love it. And I will tell you, it took me, Josh, driving down the road because I couldn't figure out how to turn the radio. It took me all the way down to Mays. I was probably weaving and bobbing down to the frontage road if I could figure out how to get the radio. I couldn't figure out how to turn. Then I finally figured it out, and one little button's all I was missing on it.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of stuff going on that dash. There is.
Well, and then the other side of it is, and I think until you were in the car and you drove it and kind of played with it and operated it a while, because there's so many different options. I mean, you can change the gauge cluster to replicate
back older models.
Any year of
Fox
Mustang,
body,
that you're after.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be, just to have the heritage of that would be really kind of cool. But again, until you're in it and got to be around it and used to it.
Yeah, I think once you drove it, it's like any new body style. You first see it, and then it grows on you. I absolutely love the contours and the what they've done with the back end,
the body lines on it.
and getting rid of that black panel. The black panel
always scratched up.
Always gets scratched up. It's just like on mine over here. It's just, mine's not bad, but I take really good care of it. You got to be really careful.
Trust me, when I shut mine, I'm not touching that black panel either. I'm trying to figure out how to get down underneath there.
And you can't even if you get the spray detailer, and spray on, it still scratches. So I just wash it. That's I wipe it down wet. That's
when they put the ceramic coat on mine, they did something to mine too, but I'm still not touching that thing. Even when somebody gets in and out of the car, make sure they tell them, shut that with a finger on the glass. Don't be touching the paint.
Yep.
My wife gets all bent out of shape with me and everything else like that too, and stuff too. And so if my wife could just understand what that car is, it would be a different value.
Either abide by the rules or don't go. It's
exactly.
up to you.
Get out.
Sorry, Mary. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, you did. I'm backing you up.
Well, my poor wife, I know she's not listening. She's got very oily fingers.
Okay.
And she's got bad knees and a bad hip.
That sounds about like me. Bad knees and bad hip.
So, all along, every time when she rides in the car, when we get home, I'm out there with a rag and the spray getting the fingerprints off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It's of course, everybody makes fun of mine sitting in the bubble and everything else too. But I guess I should have probably brought it out here today, Joshua. What I should have done.
Yeah.
If you need to step over and take some tickets, whatever, go ahead. It's whatever you.
All right, just a second.
And Dan? We could. Dan? And so we got a gentleman trying to.
Sorry.
Getting all tangled up here, Josh, aren't we? So anyway, yeah, we'll get things figured out here. So I hope we'll get somebody. Oh, what the heck is that old thing over there, Josh? Is that an old Packard?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. That is. I was trying to look at the front end of it here.
No, that might be a Chevy. No, I can't tell. Was that a? No, we'll figure that out here.
I'm pretty sure it's a Buick.
You think it's a Buick?
Yeah, I think it's a Buick.
Well, I guess we'll figure that out here in a little while or whatever.
That's definitely pretty interesting for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, we're out again. Here we're at
the Grace Point Church
in the South Central Kansas Mustang Club, putting on a car show here today. 9-3. Get your hot rod out here. Come out. It's a $20 donation, but if you want to give more, we're helping support Patchy.
How much more horse? Sorry. Oh, the dual air deals.
Yeah, we're asking about the 24 Mustang. It's got dual throttle bodies on that car, and I'm sure they've done. And I don't know what they moved it another. It does look impressive. I'm going to text. I don't know the horsepower of that motor.
Well, so he was just asking how much does
well, I can once I know the new horsepower, that'll tell me, because last year's car didn't have the duals.
And two, the I think probably one of the reasons that they're doing that is for space, to be able to get the volume of air, because they couldn't get it on just one side. But it does have I do know that it has the larger diameter throttle bodies on it for sure. So, but it's definitely sharp looking car, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I saw that first time too, and they've got to be doing that just basically get more air to come in the car, but I think also to better control the air with two throttle plates instead of just one, to be able to match it up the way they need to match that up to give it the performance that it needs. I need to study that more too, because I'm sure that's a direct injected and a.
Oh yeah. So it probably has both.
It's got 16
the conventional
injectors.
Multi-point fuel port or multi-port injection, and then also the direct injected on the fuel system.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Each bank's got its own throttle body. Yep. I don't know if you remember this. I remember back it was early 80s when Pontiac came out with that, and Camaro had that Crossfire.
Yeah.
Had two throttle bodies on her sideways.
Well, and then there was a little while there, the ZR1s, the Corvettes, when they had the a whole second bank of injectors
Yeah.
that they would fire. Mercury's actually built the marine.
Yeah, there's that 32 valve motor, wasn't it?
Yep.
But those crossfires, you had to get those throttle bodies balanced, and they had a tool you put on that thing to match them up, and it was a nightmare working on those cars. I'm glad it didn't stick around very long. It wasn't a great idea. I mean, I think the idea of putting 2 throttle bodies on cool. Now with the technology we got today, I know that's why Ford went and did it here. I'm waiting to see. Okay, so basically, by doing that, 10 horsepower is what it improved it by putting dual throttle bodies on it. So you don't think about 10, and you probably really can't feel 10 horsepower in your seat of your pants, but you know.
Yeah, when you talk about torque power to the road or horsepower to the asphalt that you actually feel in your pants, I mean, it takes a substantial amount, but also from the manufacturer standpoint, if you could do it and it gained you 10, like why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, and then next thing we haven't really decided here yet too is I didn't figure that out too. What did it do to fuel economy? Did it improve the fuel economy? Then the next thing is, did it improve the emissions out the tailpipe? And I'm sure that's where a lot of it comes from, is the emissions coming out the tailpipe that they've got to abide by and everything else like that, and how much easier to control that from that part.
Trying to meet those CAFE ratings is huge for sure.
All right, we got some other ones rolling in here. Looks like some of the GTO clubs coming in. Look at that old yellow Nomad over there.
I always like the 2-door Nomads for whatever reason. I
did too.
Those would be.
I always thought they were cool too.
Really cool car to have for sure.
Yeah, there's another GTO rolling in. So anyway, you need to get your hot rods out. A lot of people showing up here. Pretty cool deal. Help and support Passageway, which is the homeless veterans, which I got to step out there one more time and say, I just can't believe that our government's not doing better of taking care of our veterans and that who fought for our country, their blood, sweat, and tears for us. And
so what I like this, what year is that? I even like that color combination, the red and
that's a 55,
yeah.
Josh. Now that might be a 54 now. Think about it.
You know, something that, I don't know, there was the Finn era, I guess. So that kind of kicked it off right there, whatever year that was. But then they just got taller and taller and taller. And, I mean, every manufacturer even did that too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's that might be a 55. I think.
I love that color combination.
That is pretty cool, isn't it?
I wonder. Well, I'll have to look this up. But what manufacturer you think had the largest Finn?
Oh, it's Cadillac.
Think so?
Cadillac. I mean, back in Halstead, a lady had a 63, I believe it was a Coupe de Ville. And I'm not kidding. That was like a spoiler on the back, both sides of that thing. And she didn't drive it very much. So about every 6 months, my dad and I'd have to go over there and pull it out of the garage and pull it down to the shop and clean it to make it run again and go. And
get the battery going and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my opinion. I think it was 63. It was black. Big old boat, man, and then big old fins coming off the back of that thing. It was unreal. I still, talking about those kind of deals, I still remember the wildest thing ever was, you know, back in the day, we did more maintenance of keeping them running and stuff, or they wouldn't start or whatever, you know, dead batteries or just things with, you know, points, condenser, all that kind of stuff.
Well, even like starter and alternator, you
know.
know.
Yeah.
It was so common to have to replace those
water
components.
Pumps.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I bet we put on a water pump a day at my dad's station. But anyway, one day we were still down at First and Main, and this guy towed in a Pontiac wagon, like a 70 early 70s, and I said, "What are we doing this?" They said, "Well, it won't run. We got to make it run." I said, okay, so we backed in the installer, opened the hood, and it had an air cleaner on it, John. I bet it was 3 foot around that air cleaner was. Okay, remember, it's a station wagon, right? And guess what's underneath that hood? 3 2-barrels on a Pontiac wagon.
Really?
How about that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is more than crazy. So there was our buddy Tom from the GTO club.
Yeah, the GTO club.
Anyway, we jacked around with that thing, and all it was a points route. Of course, we fired up and run, but we had more fun with that thing too.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah. And then I don't know. So like tuning those to get them all kind of sequential. I don't know. Definitely took somebody that kind of knew what they were doing.
And I wonder because a couple of the GTOs we had on our showroom that time, they were 3 2-barrels on some of those cars too that we had.
Yeah.
From that part, but yeah. Anyway, so. Okay, we got one coming, huh?
Yeah, we'll get them patched through here. But definitely get out here to Grace Point Church. Again, we're at 20 or Central, and you got me saying 21st.
Yeah, and I screwed that up, didn't I?
Central and Tyler. So let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Jason. Jason, you're on live with Under the Hood.
Hey, morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
So, you're talking about new trucks and stuff. Well, Sidney County and Mass here recently took in a new order of 550 chassis because, they just can't get the van chassis anymore. And let me tell you, those 550 trucks are very, very sturdy.
Oh, the 550s? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a new build that they had to go to this year, and there's some pros and cons to it, but, for the most part, they ride better than a lot of our other van ambulances do.
So you're doing that 550 chassis for what again?
EMS, Sedgwick County.
Ambulances. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's exactly correct. Yeah. I see exactly why they're doing that, too, and stuff. We had an ambulance in there this week that I got in and had to move around a little bit and was an E350 in there and stuff, too. So going to a 550 from that part, I can see that a whole bunch better. The other thing is I don't know the turning radius too, because I know from the 350 to the 450s is a better turning radius, but I don't know if that same turning radius is on a 550 too, like the 450.
Yeah, I think it is.
You think it
I
is?
think it's the same. So basically, they have the gear rate, the steering to gear ratio is multiplied,
and then. Doesn't the 19.5 tire, though, doesn't that kind of change the angle of that maybe, too, I think?
Yeah, the 19.5 definitely will make a difference.
So what have you been running? You've been running the 350s? Now you went to the 550s?
Yeah, because they don't make the van chassis anymore.
Yeah, the
E-Series.
Yeah, so do you drive them or do you just
Yeah, we drive them.
So what I want you to do, I'd like you to go try that turning radius and compare it to a 350, how tight of a corner you could turn compared to the 350, but I bet you're going to find out it's a much tighter kind of a deal from that part.
It is a little bit. It's a little bit. I mean, it took some getting used to, because we had to go through driver's training on them before they even put them in service.
Yeah.
And it's quite the difference. But I tell you what, it's a smoother ride than the vans. But, there's a different build to it, too, because it's got a Ford chassis on it, and then we send it to Oshkosh. AEV is the one that do our boxes for them, and they had to do a lot of configuration and everything to those.
Yeah.
So that's the other part to it, and they did a heck of a job on it. And I love these 550s.
They've even come up. The next version was a 650, and then 750. Of course, now they've come up with an F600 too, right in between there. And I don't have all the stats of that or whatever why they did that, but there was some reason some of these bigger companies like that, in the fleet chassis didn't need a 650, but a 550 just wasn't quite big enough too. But I'm sure a 550 is doing very well for an ambulance for sure.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And I wonder why they picked a 550 versus a 450.
That I do not know.
There's got to be it must be something there, the weight capacity or something that you can now do.
Would assume the weight
is
of
the box bigger on this 550?
Oh yeah, it's got a much bigger box on it, and if you put it up to one of our van chassis, it's a lot higher too. So, and that's the problem that we're having now, because there's a couple of our stations that they won't fit into.
As far as driving them in and out,
you're gonna have to change the garage doors to get them in and out of there.
It's longer too. It's got a longer base to it too.
Oh yeah. The 550 definitely is even the shortest wheelbase is so much longer than the other one. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get that part of it too. So, well, good. So, how long have you had them? You got a lot of miles on them yet, or just getting them started, or?
We got them here probably about 4 or 5 months ago. 4 months ago, something like that.
Well, cool. So, they're working out pretty well for you, huh? What motor did you put in? Do you know?
Yeah, that I do not know.
Is it gas?
They're gas. I know they're gasoline. Yeah, they didn't go with diesel.
They didn't go. Gas. So you've got gas, so then it's got to be the 7.3 is what it is. Is what I would bet. I can't believe that. Right. Yeah, I bet it's a 7.3 motor.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Maybe you can get that 6.8 in a 550. Again, I don't know. Need Curtis standing here, a fleet guy, to tell us all those facts and stuff then from that part. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I bet it's got to be the 7.3. I wouldn't think they'd put the 6.8. Is it a 20? They're 23s or they're 22s? That's another question.
I want to say I think they're 23s, I believe.
Yeah. So if they're 23s, and I guarantee it's got to be a 7.3. They've come up with a new 6.8. In 23 to replace the 6.2 gas motor, which I still don't understand.
So I don't understand the 6.8 and then the 7.3 right there so close together.
The 30 horsepower and 34 pounds of torque difference is all there's difference.
Yeah, and honestly, I've not drove one of those 7.3s other than just kind of around the lot or whatever. But I was curious as to
I really
how
haven't
they,
either, to
how
be
they
honest with you.
pulled, or
Yeah.
I've gotten really good reviews on the people that have them as
Yeah.
far as
Yeah.
liking them and stuff like
Yeah.
that for sure. So
Well, you go from a van to this, and it does take some getting used to.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
So you had to go through a driver's training to be able to.
Yeah, we
to
call
do
it we have a certain course that we set up at the Sedgwick County Zoo, and we'll go through an obstacle course, and everybody has to go through it. And so when these new trucks come out, everybody had to be trained on them before they even put them in service.
Yeah. So what I was just thinking about is I remember when I used to work on the police cars and stuff like that and have to take them on road tests. God, that was kind of fun. I know somebody did
Phil.
funny things in those cars back then. I don't know who that was, but I heard stories, Josh.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun though to be cruising and then people see you coming,
you
hitting
just,
the brakes like
Yeah.
you're speeding and stuff. It was fun.
you can you can just watch cars coming at you. They're just,
Oh,
the
yeah.
nose just drops on them, and you're just out driving around.
I just waved at them, go on. They didn't. Their heart stopped.
Flip on the lights and see what happens. Yeah.
Well, from time to time, we'll bring one of those ambulances down. So, yeah, guys, ever get a chance, take it out for a test drive.
Yeah, we will. Now that you see them 550s,
You didn't hear me say that, though.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Even that ambulance I backed around in the shop the other day. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, the lights come on. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. I just got to check. I needed a light check.
I'm always afraid touching the wrong button and just
not be able to shut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you that each unit, once it goes, from the chassis and then to where they take it to build the box and everything, by the time it's all said and done, by the time you add all the equipment and supplies, it's about $250,000
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, I
crazy.
bet it is too. I was going to say 200. What I was
It's
going to
not
say.
cheap by all means.
Well, and I don't know, they got the camera systems now that you can see the sides of the ambulance and the
Yes,
back of the
and-
ambulance and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
so anytime you turn the turn signals on, you can only
Yep.
see your street view.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure as a driver is definitely a whole lot safer and much more pleasant to drive that thing around, to be able to see in blind spots,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, another good thing about it is for every an incident, we have proof to prove,
Oh, yeah.
what happened and everything. So,
Anymore, that's where it's at anymore. There's proof of everything else from the cameras and stuff. So a lot of people don't like some of this technology. That there's a lot of technology that I love to death, just like that, to be able to protect yourself, know what you got. And this is the way it is anymore. You just got to protect yourself and know what happened and everything else too. So I get it.
yeah.
I get it. So
Well, thanks for taking my call, guys.
Hey, yeah, thanks for calling in.
Jason, have a great weekend, buddy. Talk to you soon, bud.
All right, be good.
You too.
Bye.
All right, 316-462-3673. I guess we're going to talk about ambulances today too, Josh, on top of everything. Oh, what do you got rolling here?
Got a Dodge Viper pulling in here.
You ever drove one of those?
So I have.
Me too.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I had, growing up as a kid, I remember that thing, and that was going to be the car. I had to had to have one of those, and it was I don't know, it was like the 93 models that had the side pipes on them, and so a little bit older than that. And I just, for whatever reason, thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then I got to drive one, and after that, it just ruined it for me. Completely
Me
ruined
too.
it.
Me too.
You get them up in the higher RPMs, and it's okay, but that starting out that V10 in them, it just doesn't sound right. And I just cannot tell you how disappointed I was after driving one of those things.
Me too. So my experience with it is when I was still in between Hutch and here, you had all my customers, and I always had these Corvettes. Everybody's Corvette. And then one of my guys said, I want something different.
Yeah.
So we got him a Viper, and I got to drive it from Wichita to Hutch. And I was done with that thing before I got to 96 highway. The windshield's right here. It's all over the place.
What I remember specifically is the shifter stuck out 2 foot out of the console, and it just
and then it's the low RPM. There's nothing there. And then all of a sudden, I don't remember what RPM that was, whatever. All of a sudden, about 3 or 4. Just
About 4,000.
Uncontrollable. Yeah. But you're all right. They are a cool looking car. So they need to be in the bubble, Josh.
As far as the body design and the lines on it and stuff, like I can remember having models of it and buying die-cast cars of it and all that stuff, and just and then I got to drive one, and I just it just ruined it for me
They just
altogether.
look fast.
Yeah,
you
very
know.
much so.
And I agree. They are a cool looking car. I'll give them that and everything else too. So
The other ones, and I didn't really care for it too much, but the Chrysler had that Prowler, or the
yeah, the kind
Plymouth
of front wheel
Prowler.
open. Yeah.
And
I never had drove one of those. Did you drive one of those?
Yeah, I had drove one, and again, I didn't really care for that too much, but it was just different, unique.
Yeah.
And then Chevy with the SSRs,
And I drove with SSRs quite a bit.
Yeah,
Because that's back when we sold them and all that kind of stuff. And we had a couple traded in and stuff. And I drove one for a demo for a while. Now the SSR, I loved that truck. I thought that was fun and cool.
And definitely just different,
Yeah.
kind of off the beaten path for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, what else is rolled in? I got an old Cougar sitting over there.
Still trying to figure out. So what's this, dude? Ed, you know what the silver on the end of the row here? What's that silver one?
I think that's a Cadillac, I think.
So I thought it was a Buick, but I don't know.
And we got about everything from a
Yeah.
Chevy
I'm
to
not
a
sure,
Packard to.
I'm just looking at that emblem on the front. It almost looks like a Cadillac emblem.
Well, I thought the Cadillac had that kind of other piece of that, like whatever that was coming out the front of it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
didn't think that was a Cadillac.
It might not be.
I don't know. It could be just broke off too.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I'm not.
We're gonna
that
go
up-
and check it out after the show, make sure what it is, or we figure out
There
who
you
that
go.
guy is that owns it, and come over and tell me what that thing is.
Yeah, really.
So I don't know. We're trying to figure that out.
But
too.
what I will say is you got just a little bit for everybody. That's
Yep,
for sure.
It sure is. Just a little bit of everything. Want everybody to come on out. You know, we got to. If you don't even bring a hot rod, bring yourself and bring your wallet. We're selling raffle tickets. We got lots and lots of nice
prices, stuff
prizes
over there to win.
over
Stuff.
there. Yeah, we got oil changes from Mel Hambelton. We got gift certificates or gift cards from Mel Hambelton. We got oil changes from other people. We got car wash kits from O'Reilly. We just got a little bit of everything over there.
Very good. So you don't have to bring your hot rod; just bring yourself, and
That's
still
right.
can give a donation. We're trying
Absolutely.
to help take care of Passageways, which takes care of our homeless veterans. And my blood pressure gets boiling when I start thinking about that more and more about that. But that's why we're here today. So come out here and I'm gonna screw the address up again.
So we're going to be at 9035 West Central. So we're Central and Tyler. We're a little bit west of Central and Tyler on Central. From that intersection, kind of behind the Midas and the Taco Bell, right there off of Tyler. So
It's a Grace Point Church for all you Wichitans. It's the old theater. Used to be a theater.
Oh, really?
Is that what this was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was
Oh, there's a Grace Point Church.
Mhm.
So I
So-
should have looked up a little underneath the tent there and saw that from that part. So got a Roush Stage 3 over there, 15. I believe that was the first year. 15 was the first year for the Stage 3 RS3 Stage 3s, I believe.
I believe you're right.
The
Mhm.
because before that they were called the 427s, I believe.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. And then you had the black supercharger, and then you had the chrome supercharger. And the chrome ones are worth a lot more money for some reason. I don't know. That's just they're chrome, but I think there was more power on the ones with the chrome blower than the black blower.
Mach 1
I mean,
just
if
pulling
you
in.
had an argument today whether it was chrome wheels or black wheels, which would you choose?
You know what I'm picking? Chrome, baby.
So that's why they're worth more.
You got it looks like a 22 or 23.
You got a Mach 1.
Mach 1 just
yeah.
rolled up.
Mhm.
So what year's yours?
It's a 22.
Is it? Yeah.
Time for an upgrade, sir.
It's for sale.
Well, I understand. But we got to upgrade too. We got to upgrade it too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
That is definitely a beautiful car. I love that color.
Thank you.
I'm glad they kept it.
Yeah,
for the
that
new
wrap,
year
and
models.
it changes color in the sun.
Yeah.
It really sparkles in the sun. It
Yeah. So got the black wheels on yours.
black appearance package, yeah. And I upgraded the spoiler, put the S550 spoiler on it.
Yeah. Very cool.
Or the
Yeah. Very cool. So you go take that Mach 1 out and race him a little bit, see what happens, huh?
I imagine I'd get beat, but
Well, I think the difference between those two cars, how you'd get beat, is who's driving it.
yeah, that could be.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I always give Jake a lot of heck. I said, let's take a couple of cars out and you drive one, I'll drive one. I'll beat you in both of them.
yeah.
No
So
matter
now
what.
the
tires make a difference
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Now the difference is automatic or manual.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't know. Years ago, manual was the thing to have. Now
Now the 10-speed auto will outrun that manual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. They'll outrun the manual, that's for sure. But it's the fun of it and everything else like that too. And I still remember the Corvettes, which was my father-in-law's that I have. It's a '93 Corvette, and it's got the 6-speed in it. Of course, when he bought that, it was 6-speed, and I get it.
Yeah.
And I don't drive it very much either. But when I drove it the other night to put Jake's modified in my man cave, and I got it out, and I thought, what the heck? This is no fun anymore. This is not no fun anymore. I mean, it's cool every now and then, stuff like that too. But having to get it neutral, get the brake on, and everything, and all that kind of stuff, and everything else too, from that part. But he
just made a guest appearance and he didn't even know it.
And then but in that 500, that 7-speed dual clutch, I mean, that's what makes that car. I mean, that thing, it shifts so fast, so you don't even feel it shift. You just see the RPM change. Of course, I don't know why I don't drive that thing anymore.
I don't know. Well, like most people that own them, they just sit in the garage and look at them. But
hey, look, there's another T-bucket. No, that's not a T-bucket, is it? That red one over there?
Yes.
I don't know, one of those. That's that style. I still think that'd be cool to have one of those. And the ones that got the steering wheel right here in the top, like the Munsters had.
Yeah. So David's is I don't know. I like that car. I really do. But
who's
David Gray's?
Oh yeah, David Gray car. Yeah.
Yeah, I really do like that car. But getting in and driving it, it's just tight and confined and
that's like the Cobra. I mean, the Cobra, that our backdraft Cobra we got. It's fun for 15 minutes, and that's about it. It's a 15-minute is what I call it.
At least on that deal, the sound of the side pipes and stuff like that.
It's no fun on the highway, but it's cool in town and stuff like that too. Like going down 235 and stuff, that's not much fun. Especially when it's warm out, it's really no fun.
Yeah,
you got to have your suntan on, suntan lotion on. You're going to get burnt.
Oh yeah,
from that part. So. Hey, anyways, call in show 316-462-3673. Anything you want to talk about, anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, or you want to talk about this great car show we're having out here at Grace Point Church at Tyler and Central, but a little bit back west of Central. I got it right that time.
There
Josh.
you go. Look at you.
Southwest corner.
Yep.
And got a lot of great hot rods out here. And again, we're raising money for Passageways, which is what a group that takes care of our homeless veterans here in Wichita, and love to help out and donate and everything else too. So, and you got some great raffle prizes, you said, so you don't even have to bring your car if you don't want to. Come out and register up for some raffle prizes. It'd be great. Looks like it got a lot of goodies over there and stuff too. So, anyway, got some good cars out here. Hey, got a couple Novas too. Looks like a 70 over there. I had a 73 that I drag raced, Josh. Did you know that?
Yeah,
73
I
Nova.
did. Yeah, I think you're that's when was that what you had when your dad come home and there was chalk marks on the windshield?
No, that was a Chevelle.
Was it? Okay.
So the Nova I had was a 73, and what's crazy about that, my brother-in-law had it. It was his high school and college car. When he got done with college, he was going to get rid of it. And I said, hey, I want that car. So I knew what I was going to do. I was turning it into a drag car is what I was going to do. And he always talked about how powerful that motor was and how it just, and I thought, he's just crazy. He didn't know what horsepower was ever. So I took the motor out of it, started turning it apart, and started measuring everything up to know what I was going to put in it. That thing had a Corvette motor in it.
Really?
Back then. So the Corvette always had, 50 or I don't remember what it was back then, 50, 75 more horsepower. For some reason, when it come down assembly, they got the wrong motor stabbed in it. That's what happened. Because it was all factory and everything when I took it apart. And when I got that motor part, I said, well, this don't match up. That, oh, wait. And then we started looking through the books and stuff and found out. So I called Greg. I said, I can't believe it. I knew there was some of that car.
Had a little bit of a benefit there.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, lots of great hot rods out here. So if you want some fun to do here today, it's just a nice temperature. It's not too hot, not too cold. And come out here and have some fun. And got a lot of good hot rod. I can't see all the way up front there. It looks like there's another Rapid Red Mustang up front there. I can't tell what it is. That yellow one's
that's actually the Ruby Red.
No, is it?
It's a little older, yeah. It's got.
So that's Rapid Red came in 20.
In 20, yeah.
Yeah. Ruby Red was 19. Same way in the F-152, I think.
Yeah.
From that part. So
very, very similar colors, but there is definitely a difference to them.
Okay. Well, anyway, gentlemen, looks like you're running out of time.
Yeah, you're out here from 9 to 3.
9 to 3, yes.
Okay.
And so you bring your car at any time. Take your car and come and go as you want to, right?
Absolutely.
And so anytime you want to bring your hot rod out or just come out and register up for some prizes and stuff, love to have you come out here and help raise money for Passageways. So every bit of the profits is going towards that today. And you got the great raffles over there that all these places have given away to give away, not given to give away. So what's the raffle tickets cost?
We got them at $5 a piece, 25 for $20, or
5 for 25. You mean
5 for 25? Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I believe for $30, 10 for 30.
10 for 30. So everybody get your $30 out here and get 10 raffle tickets in a bucket, see what you can win. Get your hot rods out here out of the garage and everything else too. So you know what,
Josh?
Josh?
Draw throughout the day, or
We're going to draw at 2 o'clock.
okay.
2 o'clock.
Very good. Very good.
Present to win, or you can call them up and let them know they won.
Be here to win.
Be here to win at 2 o'clock. So you don't want to miss 2 o'clock here. 21st. Nope. Central and Tyler. Can't get it right. Grace Point Church, just west of Tyler and 21st on the south side. So come on out here today. Get your hot rods out and come, and not just get out and walk around and see all the neat stuff they've got out here to offer. Anything else you want to go through? Anything, cover anything, Josh? I think about out of time.
I think so. Yeah.
So let's rock and roll here. How about it? You got to get some places to go. I got places to go. We got to get some more cars out here and stuff too. So anyway, beautiful Saturday, and we're going to be back in the studio next Saturday.
I think I was trying to remember that too, but I think we will be now. I think we will be.
We sure want to thank Mel Hambelton Ford for helping us out here.
No problem at all. Glad to do it. And your next car show is July, right?
In July, yes.
And it'll be at the Sedgwick County Park.
Sedgwick County Park.
So don't miss that. Get that on your calendars too. You have a date on that on the July one yet?
July, I want to say the 22nd. I may be off
Somewhere in there.
somewhere in that area.
All right. So don't get that marked on your calendar and stuff, and get your hot rods out and ready to go. So anyway, hey, we got to thank other people who kind of help us our show. That's a Big Corner Creative for all your advertising needs. Anything you need for your company to advertise, as they say, just Google us. BG Products, and we probably should have put some BG products out here for these guys. You didn't think about
away.
that too, too. So, but anyway, all the great preventative maintenance products we use, and of course, a lot of these guys need their CF5 and their fuel tanks for these old hot rods and stuff too. So, can't forget about that stuff on that part from BG Products. A great partnership we have with those guys, and the holidays are coming. I can't believe we're talking about that already. But if you're needing something bigger to get to Grandma's house, give Stan a call right inside Melhorn Ford at Go To Rent to get your rental car ready to go. 12, 15 passenger van, whatever it is you need to make sure you got plenty of room to get to Grandma's house. So everybody have a great Saturday, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.